So how do these diplomatic efforts look from a Ukrainian perspective? Let's ask our correspondent Gulliver Cragg, who's in Kyiv for us today. Gulliver, we've been reporting that Vladimir Putin is expected to make a decision soon on whether or not to recognise those independent republics of Donetsk and Luhansk. Now, if he did do that, how significant would it be, do you think?
Well, it would be a game changer, that's for sure. Vladimir Putin himself said that it would mean the end of the Minsk agreements, and a majority of Ukrainians also think that Ukraine would no longer have any obligation to move forward with the application of these Minsk agreements, which involves giving autonomy to these regions if Russia has recognized these parts of these regions as independent. And some people in Ukraine think that might even be a relief, because the way they see it, Russia wanted to use these autonomous regions as a sort of lever to wield Russian influence in Ukraine, and in particular over Ukrainian foreign policy. But where it seems a bit more worrying, particularly in the context of the massive military buildup, is when you think about the fact that at the moment, the separatists backed by Russia control only part of Donetsk region and part of Luhansk region. And according to the so-called constitutions of their self-declared republics, they consider their territory to be the whole of those regions. And there are a lot of people in Ukraine who think that this could be the prelude to the separatists backed by Russia now officially, once Russia would have recognized them. So with official Russian military backup, going ahead to try to conquer the rest of the territory that they claim as theirs. And so there are a lot of people in Ukraine who are very worried about the military confrontation that this could mean.
So these are the border areas we're talking about, Gulliver, in the east of Ukraine. You're, though, in the capital at the moment, in Kyiv. Just give us a sense what the atmosphere is like there right now.
Well, you know, life in Kyiv goes on, and there's definitely not panic. There hasn't been any run on the banks or on the shops, but more and more people are talking about the possibility that this city might be shelled, the capital of Ukraine, since the US President Joe Biden, who does, after all, quite regularly speak to Vladimir Putin and has access to very, very good intelligence, seems to think it's a distinct possibility. There are definitely increasing numbers of people who are sort of preparing for that possibility, though the fact that everything at the moment does seem concentrated in the east and on an escalation of the war in Donbass, that for the moment is still in line with what Ukrainian military analysts were predicting, and they were predicting and have still been predicting that Kyiv, the capital, and cities further west would not be targeted by Russian military action.
Gulliver Cragg reporting for us there from Kyiv, Ukraine. Thanks very much indeed.